by your belief that it is protecting you and those you designate in your circle. Keep it there as long as you want, but definitely invoke this screen before every exercise you do. Intuition. We all have it. We begin life with a knowing that we are connected, an intuitive awareness that we are capable of so much. Then we discover that everything we knew when we came into this world may not have been right, or, more importantly, may not have been widely accepted or recognized by society as valid. Until usually, years later, we begin to understand that we were on the right track, and we are connected and capable of moving into our greatness, or, at the very least, our happiness. What stops us from a natural progression from birth to intuition? Simple. We do. Unfortunately, even well-intentioned people tend to stray from relying on or even using their intuitive gifts. But intuition is our birthright. It is the one thing that can truly help us move toward joy. But we shove it down and keep it hidden because the reality is it is intangible, and intangibles are difficult to prove. So instead, we focus on the tangibles, those things we can grasp physically or see with our own eyes. They are the things we can all agree are real. Intuition is harder to verify. However, that intuitive ability, that gift, comes when you need it. It is a gut instinct, a feeling deep down, a knowing even, about something, anything, that you may be connected to that, when it happens, makes you say, aha, or brings you comfort. We turn to our intuitive impressions when we need to decide something, when rational thought has run its course, or when we need help from someone other than those in the physical realm. We can call it prayer, or we can call it heavenly intervention, or we can call it what it is, a request sent out to the universe to help us in the best and most positive way. That is not to say that belief in a higher power is void or irrelevant. Belief in a higher power works because, and I don't say this lightly, the universal energy that you may identify as God, Jesus, Buddha, Mother Mary, or any other religious deity helps us connect to our own higher self and our intuition. Again, it's that intuitive gift that most of us lose along the way because we've been told it's not real. But it finds its way back to us in times of need, and then we can learn to develop it and use it for so much more. Your intuition is yours, and yours alone, to rediscover and use to your benefit, and maybe even the benefit of others. Who I am. Even though I have always been intuitive, I didn't feel like it was a profession that went beyond the stereotypical scarf-wearing psychics on the boardwalk that have a reputation of being fake. I was so wrong. Now, I'm totally at ease with what I do. I am an international award-winning author, a professional psychic, a healer, and a teacher. That's my current resume, summed up quite easily. But my background is so much more. I was a public accountant, preparing taxes for others. After that, I was the controller of a company, and I owned a children's boutique. Bet you weren't expecting that. So, how did that change? How did I end up somewhere so different from where I started? I had what I refer to as intuitive guidance, and I needed to be hit over the head to listen to it. One day, shortly after I had my first daughter, when I was still working as the controller of a company, using mostly my left brain, I actually felt like I was hit over the head. Nothing too hard, but intense enough for me to pay attention to it. And I heard the words, "You need to do this work now." That was it. That was my life-changing event. And to anyone else, it might sound like I made it up.